Hi, and welcome to freshmind.com. My name is Eric, and we are ready to finish up our DVD and sleeve. We need to create some holes in this so we can attach it to our DVD drawer. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to go to a regular view, go to a top view. Let's see, I'm going to select all these bottom faces here and just raise this up a little bit more. I was looking at the sleeve before I did this, and it's actually pretty close to this bottom edge. And there's a hole on this side and a hole on this side. So I'm going to select those faces and those faces, and I've got the top and bottom faces selected right there. Alright, so let's do extrude, and let's just go ahead and just use these handles. So I'm going to just start scaling these. Alright, we kind of want to get a good circle, we want to get everything. Let's click this little handle, grab the blue, and just lower these down some. We want a perfect square because that's going to give us a nice circle. So I'm going to go to top view here, go to vertices select mode, and let's see, I'll select those, use my scale tool. I'm getting that distance right there about the same. Let's grab these, go to our move tool, highlight this handle, V and middle mouse drag. Let's press and hold down the letter V and middle mouse drag it over that vert, and that just creates a square. So let's kind of see how this is going to look. This is kind of getting a sharp angle there. Let's just see what that's going to look like. Actually, those holes are kind of big, to be honest with you, I think. Oops. Let's delete those first. Alright, delete. Alright, it's not bad. I think it's a little bit big. So let's make those a little bit smaller. Select all these. Use my move tool. Just move that down. Select these inside ones. Use the scale tool. And there we go. Let's try that. Alright, much better. So that's what we got right there. It's kind of some metal rods that are holding these sleeves in place. Alright, the only thing we need to do now is fill this up. So let's go to edge select mode. I'm going to double click this top edge, double click this bottom edge. Let's go to edit mesh, bridge, options box, edit, reset settings. All I'm going to do is take these divisions down to 0 and bridge. Alright, so that turned out really well. Now if yours came out with an angle going across the side, like let me just show you over here in the channel box, you'll see poly bridge. If I click that, expand it, and then you'll see a bridge offset. So if I type 1 there, you can see what that does. We got this like edge now going across like that. So when you did that bridge and you ended up with something like this, just go inside here and start increasing this number. So it starts with 0 and then go to 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 5, and eventually you'll get to a number where it should work. Alright, mine actually was already fine on 0, so I'm going to leave mine on 0. Same thing on this side. Select the top edge loop, select the bottom edge loop, edit mesh, bridge. Alright, smooth preview. Alright, so there's our holes in our sleeve. So not a bad looking sleeve. Let's do another save. Actually, let's delete the history on it again. Delete my type history and save. Alright, let's go. Let's close this out, save it. I'm going to open up our latest DVD drawer. Alright, we want to import that, so let's go to File, Import. There's our DVD, import. Alright, it went inside here. So let's go ahead and go to our outliner. There's our DVD stuff. I should have grouped it before. Control G. Let's rename that to group underscore DVD. Alright, let's put everything else in a group. And why do I have a body group? I'm going to rename this to body. I'm going to middle mouse drag it out of the group and then delete that right there. Alright, I'm going to select all the pieces to our DVD drawer, group those together. grp underscore DVD drawer. Alright, file, save scene as. Let's save this as _10. Alright. So now we got two groups. We got one with our DVD parts and another one for our DVD drawer stuff. So let's grab our DVD. Let's pull this out. And right now it is pretty big, but we'll fix that. Okay, I know this DVD, we modeled it according to spec, according to size, so that's good. That means this stuff here is not. So I'm going to go up to the Windows menu, Settings, Preferences, left-hand side, go down to Settings, change linear from centimeters to inches, click Save. Alright, now we're working in inches. Let me get a measurement of this right here real quick. Alright, so this right here is about 6.5 inches tall, so let's go to Create, Polygon Primitives Cube, Options box, and let's change the height to 6.5. Create. So there's what height, that's how high or how tall our DVD drawer needs to be, but I'm going to select the group. So group selected, use the scale tool, I'm just going to scale that up. So something about like that right there. Alright, we don't need this cube anymore, so I'm going to select it in the outliner and then hit the delete button to get rid of that. Let's select our DVD group and let's situate that in here the way it needs to go. Okay, this actually should fit just barely inside the top. The top of this DVD, sticking straight up, should just pretty much be touching the top of this. Whoops, select the group. Alright, that's actually good right there. Can actually probably even go higher. Because it really is. It's like, I mean, I'm looking at my drawer, and when I lift the DVDs up, it's like barely touching. Alright, so that's as high as it needs to go. So now we need to make some adjustments here. I'm going to select all these vertices, and I'm just going to lower those down until it's just about touching. So just raising up a little bit. Alright, we can select alright, let's see. This might get a little weird here. Selecting all those. Okay, we'll just move them one at a time. We don't want to scale because it's going to mess up the edges. Do the same thing on the other side. Alright. And then as far as these go, that's actually fine just like it is that high because we're going to be tilted, slanted down. Let me just double check here. Actually, we can lower those down a little bit. It's kind of changing the shape of this, but I think it'll be alright. Let's do both sides together. Alright, let's double look at this and alright, I think that's still going to be fine. So you can see that it's not really rounded right there anymore. But I think it'll be alright still. Now if you want, you could go in and you can fix this. You could get your split polygon tool and you could split it right along there. And then just redo the topology so everything looks fine. But for this, I'm just going to go ahead and leave it like it is. Alright, so that's in there the way it needs to be. We need to create some metal rods for these to go through our DVD. So I'm just going to create a polygon pipe. Let's call this rod. I'm going to change the divisions to 12. Actually, we can probably change this all the way down to 8 because these are going to be pretty small. Rotate this 90 degrees or -90, whichever you prefer. And let's just start scaling this the way it needs to be. It's pretty small rods. Alright, I'm going to move this so that it's close towards the bottom of this, but not all the way down. Just going to raise it up a little bit. Alright. Scale up just a little bit bigger, but not too big. Alright, so there we go. I'll grab these back and just push it all in there. That's all I'm going to do. Alright, show, isolate, view selected. I'm going to zoom in here. I'm going to select this edge loop on each side. Do a bevel, edit mesh, bevel. Change the offset to say maybe 0.1. That way if we do a smooth preview, okay, it's pulling that edge way down here, so let's add some more edge loops. Shift, right click, insert edge loop. Maybe insert one that end, one at this end, and then maybe one in the middle. Let's see what that does. Alright, so that holds a lot better. So there's our rod. Let's go and delete the history on it. Edit, delete by type, history. Let's go and do a save. Bring everything back. Show, isolate, selected, view selected. Alright, so there's our rod. Let's duplicate it. Control D. Move it over. Alright, so there's the other one. Select both of them. Modify, freeze transformations. I'm going to take these two rods. I'm going to go ahead and open up my DVD drawer. And let's just take these and just drop them right. Actually, the group drawer right there. I'm going to drop in that group. That way, if we select the drawer, it stays with the drawer. Alright, so everything is looking good. Let's take this, and we want to change, actually the group, not the, we want to select the group. Alright, modify, center pivot. Here's what we want to do with this group. I'm going to press the insert button. I'm going to press the letter V, and I'm going to middle mouse drag on one of these verts on the very bottom. So if I zoom in, you'll see I got it right there on one of those bottom vertices. Hit insert button again. That way I can select this move tool or the rotate tool, and I can rotate this just like that. Alright, I'm going to move this back, and I'm going to lay this against that back piece, or just so it's kind of close. So just like that. And I'm going to change the rotate X to 0. I'm just going to freeze this now. So modify, freeze transformations, or the group rather. Modify, freeze transformations. Okay. So that's exactly what we want right there. Alright, so let's select this. Let's say we have a bunch of them in here. We can do some instances, or actually in this case probably preferred not to. So I got the group selected. Control D to duplicate it. I'll pull this forward. And then once I pull it forward, I pulled it forward, at least on mine, 0.15 in the translate Z. Shift D, and I can just do this a bunch of times to create a bunch of disks, however many I want. Alright, question is, how many do I want? Let's do this. Just for this tutorial, I'm going to select the group. Let me just pull that forward some. I'm going to select this here. I'm going to duplicate this part, Control D, and let's just say this is kind of like a divider. So I'm going to call this divider. And I want to make this thinner, but I don't want to use the scale tool because see what it does? It's not what we want. So I'm going to go to a side view. I'm going to use my lasso tool, and I'm going to select all the vertices on one side. Use my move tool and just shrink that up. F8. Smooth preview. Alright, so that's kind of just, that's going to be our divider right there. So maybe we've got some disks back here in the back. So Control D to duplicate it. I'm just going to move it forward. Make sure I move it forward enough. Shift D, and then Shift D. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the back. And then maybe we'll put a divider right here. Control D, maybe put a divider up here. And it looks like we didn't have our disk with our thing. That was the issue with that. So let me undo. Alright. Need to make sure we select the group. Alright, Control D. Pull it forward some. Shift D, Shift D, Shift D. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So we got 5 DVDs back there in the back. We got a divider here. Maybe we got one there, and maybe one up here. Select our DVD groups. I'm going to select, let me move this one down just to organize our outliner. Select all those, Control D. Control D. Alright, so there we go. And we could do a lot more, but when we do our controls, I don't want it to take too long, but you can put as many in there as you want to. Alright, that's going to conclude this tutorial. In the next video, we'll create our controls and so that we can easily open this up and flip through our DVDs. Alright, thanks for watching. Oh, make sure you save your work. So let's do save, and then I'll see you in the next video.